All right, time to look at Johnny's sleep setup. What are we looking at here?
It's a big Agnes Flycreek ultralight, one
Yeah.
person. Been pretty happy with it so far. One thing that's a little odd about it is you kind of enter from this end.
Right.
It doesn't have a side entrance.
And that would be like the biggest deal breaker, or
For some people, yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I could see on a two-person tent it would be a huge deal breaker.
Oh my god, yeah.
One person, I don't really care. I basically can just climb right in and feed myself into my bag.
Right, and so what kind of bag are you rocking here?
I've got a Thermarest quilt.
How are you feeling about the quilt?
I'd never go back to a sleeping bag.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's so much better. Like, and I'm not talking the weight, just the comfort, being
Yeah.
able to kick it off, adjust it.
Or you can attach it to your sleeping pad, and
Yep.
then you can turn within it, and it doesn't turn with you like the mummy bag does.
Yep.
It is the cat's pajamas. And you got like a liner in there too?
Yeah, so I sewed some sleeping bag fabric
Yeah.
and sewed myself a liner just to hopefully keep the bag a little cleaner.
And that's all on top of.
On top of a Thermarest Neo Air. This is actually the winter version, so it's a little warmer. Blow-up pillow that desperately needs to be washed.
Don't look too closely.
Don't look too closely at anything. It's all sitting on a piece of 6-inch or 6 mil poly, like for vapor barrier.
Okay, and why did you go with plastic instead of Tyvek?
I didn't have any Tyvek.
Okay.
I had a giant roll of 6 mil poly. And this is really heavy grade.
This is the stuff you're using between insulation and the studs.
Yeah. So it's it might be even tougher than Tyvek as far as puncture proof.
Yeah.
So here in the desert, I thought probably weighs a little more, and my ultimate favorite part of my sleep system, and just the trip in general,
Yeah.
is this old chunk of Thermarest redress foaming,
Yeah.
because I can put it here as an entry mat.
Yeah.
As you can see, I kind of had to crawl in the tent.
Yeah.
Super nice to have the foam there.
Fair enough.
I can put shoes there.
Yeah.
Use it as a seat pad.
Yeah.
There's a chunk missing because on the hike through the canyon, I needed an extra pad for my head. So just head size. Get well worth the extra, whatever, 100 grams I'm carrying.
No, keeping that dirt outside of the tent, I do the same thing over there. Just having that space, it's essential, especially here in the dirt, like everything is dirt.
Yeah, and my tent stays clean because it's like a welcome mat.
Yeah, should have put something welcome on that or something. All right, thanks, Johnny.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, look at that. When people stop and talk to us, the number one thing they always ask us about are bikes. What bikes are you riding? The number two thing is like, well, how do you sleep? Where do you sleep? And this is what I've been sleeping in. This is a Nemo Dragonfly single person tent. It is freestanding, which is fantastic, although it's so light that you need to stake it down, or at least weight it down inside. I've got a ground sheet here made out of Tyvek. So the ground sheet, I put this little thing on here. You may only pass this way once, just a reminder to really enjoy the trip. But that is to keep my Thermarest from puncturing more than anything. Although having this extra foot space here, is super handy for putting stuff, especially when you're out in the dirt. You just make a rule of not ever stepping on it, and you keep dirt off there, which means you don't bring dirt in here. So here I use a Thermarest Neo Air, which I've been using on a number of trips. I've got an inflatable pillow, but really the pièce de résistance here is I don't know if it's Katabatic or Katabatic or, oh, here it is. Katabatic gear. This is the Sasquatch, this is the Sawatch, which is a sleeping quilt. It is a -9 Celsius sleeping quilt. I just pulled it out, which is why it's looking all frumpy. This thing is the cat's pajamas, and it's a sleeping quilt, which is not a mummy bag. It's quite different, and I can tell you it took one use. After 30 years of sleeping in a mummy bag, It took one use to get convinced that the sleeping quilt is the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, whatever you want to say. Especially if you're a side sleeper like I am. It just, oh my God, it's so much more versatile than the mummy bag. It packs down smaller. There's no zipper. It uncomplicates things. Yeah, 100%. If you know anything about the quilt, Google it. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. So that's basically in here. There's some compartments and stuff for stuff up here, and up here. Lots of storage. It's actually a very roomy single person tent. And this sleep system for me has been dreamy on this trip. I don't have the fly on right now because since we've been in the desert, I haven't really needed it. I was using it a bit in the woods for warmth, but out here in the desert, warmth is not a problem. So that is my sleeping system.